Pass rewards.
If you tuned in just now, you tuned in at the right time. We're headed into our grand final already. 6 matches out of the way arc. The 7th is yet to come. And the two teams are SK versus Humble. How do you feel about that final? Another close one, or is it going to be a sweep?
I think, regardless, the best two teams that we could hope for at this stage of the competition, the most deserving. I mean, what a day it's been in EMEA. It really has been such a delight to watch this battle go down, and so entertaining, as always. But today just feels a bit special, doesn't it? Let's be honest. For SK Gaming, a team that, did win back in February. For Humble, notoriously always kind of chasing that kind of first win of the season, and often making grand finals, but not necessarily winning them. Seems to be a lot of the tale of Humble. It took 3 months last time round, or 4 technically for June, for them to win last year rather. So this time round, looking to tie up sooner.
Both SK Gaming and Humble secured their return to the global stage. To honor them, we have also found a couple of those entries into the Brawl Esports fan art contest that are featuring some of our players that are standing on the playfield right now, Trev.
Yeah, really got OP's mustache down there, I will say. Look at
attention to the detail, mate. Love it.
He's looking as French as ever in that. So you've got it bang on, pretty much. Yeah, really nice stuff from both of these here. Incredible piece of artwork from the SK side, the Humble side. Yeah, really nice stuff. But I mean, SK Gaming coming into this one, they've had a little bit of a break in comparison to Humble, but it's always a question of whether you want the momentum straight off the back or a bit of a rest before your finals.
Certainly for me, SK Gaming haven't looked as composed as Humble. I would say Humble were under some pressure in that last series, and they were able to overcome some demons. But this is now a real demon for them. Grand finals, they're definitely not strangers to whatsoever, but winning them, that's a rarity. It was just kind of a weird thing to say for a team that last year won the World Championship. But certainly they did so. Only one under their belt, at the World Finals. But to get one this month would mean the world to them. SK though, I mean, they're craving their second this year. Imagine what a position that would put them in the World Finals race, going ahead with 2 wins under their belt, let alone the Brawl Cup prospects.
It's the second monthly final appearance for both of those teams. In February, it was a 3-0 for SK Gaming. However, let's see if that's going to be the case today as well. I have a slight feeling that it's going to be a closer one. And looking at our predictions, guys, it was pretty one-sided, not towards SK Gaming. Maybe we'll see our predictions later. Let's have a look at the maps here first. Out in the Open is going to be our first one. Who did you vote for, Trev?
I went for Humble. I've kind of come to the point now where I started to have some really tough predictions off the start of the year. I just stick with who I predict on event.ballstars.com rather than just changing on the fly. Because I started changing on the fly depending on how teams were doing on the day and how I thought they were playing, and then it just all went terribly wrong. So I've just stuck with what I've went with today, and I think up until now I'm pretty much flawless. So I'm not hoping that the Humble win. I'm not hoping. I'm not biased. But for my predictions, it would be great.
We need to start predicting something different from Trev, just so he's not the prediction master once again, Ark.
Well, I mean, what he's basically outlined is the fact that exactly what I've done today didn't work. I went with my heart, as Trav taught me to do now, and changed on the fly. Whereas on the event site, I'm basically, flawless except for that one match earlier where I went for Eclipse over for esports in the quarterfinals. Go with your guts, I think certainly seems to be the case today. For me, Humble, I had always down to win the whole day, and that remains to be the same. I feel like they've the ones that have really impressed me so far. But I can't stress enough that there is that little caveat that this is not the place where necessarily they're as the most consistent as others.
Predictions so far for me looking good as well. Not a single mistake. I just know if Humble loses this one now, though, Semantic's going to say we jinxed him again. It's just his thing at this point. Well, we're heading into our grand final match here. It's kind of a revenge for Humble. They lost 3-0 to SK Gaming in the February monthly finals. Now they're both in the finals back again. It's not Eclipsar and Inner Circle anymore. Those two are nowhere to be seen. Every month is just different for EMEA, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it because maybe a little bit of home region bias, no team bias. I think it's the most competitive region, and I think that prediction goes to show exactly what I'm saying at this point. 51% to 49, about as close as prediction as I've ever seen. I think in the BSC, it's usually swayed quite heavily one way, but that is pretty much bang on about what I'm pretty sure we're all expecting. Maybe swung the other way because most of us have said, well, all of us have said humble, but around about that is the chances of winning.
We're heading into draft number 1 here of the grand finals out in the open. It's our first map, that map where you usually just want to break open mid to even get into that mid where we throw down, where you just pick something that can go over the water on the left-hand side. Angelo, Eve, Shade and Juju are those options. We have Illumi, Ben, Jean and Angelo on the side of Humble here. First pick goes to SK Gaming. They themselves ban out some quite tanky options here with the Ollie, the Buster and the RT. We still have some long-ranged options here in play. I'm especially thinking about Luki here when I say Piper, Bell, Byron. Those options could still come in here later. I think SK could go with something safer like the Eve, or with something that hasn't really proven to be a valid asset in their reigns here. They're picking Kit as first pick too. That's quite surprising.
Yes and no. I mean, in knockouts, certainly it's a mode where, it opens the doors to cheese. And SK have certainly been there today on Hard Rock Mine already with Papara Supermassive. It's often banned out because people just do not want to deal with it. I mean, combined with brawlers like Daryl, maybe even a Pearl, it's not banned out in this instance. It's, any tank, minus the Hank that's now on the side of Humble, it can really do wonders. And, again, with a really agile brawler as well, potentially in that combo, that can really just dance around the map and throwing the balls yarn around as well as the thrower, as the healer. It's the whole package. So it's certainly with the couple box gadget 2 going to be something of Humble's attention to keep a track of as well. And yeah, I don't mind it. It's been a while and it can go disastrously wrong. On the side of Humble, the Hank, the Max, safer picks for sure. What are SK cooking?
Oh, give us a cheeky little Daryl then, SK. Show us the little kid Daryl strat.
Come on.
Give some a bit cheeky, be a bit different. No, they're just going to go with a B. Something long range, something consistent, something they know that can work. I don't mind it as well, considering it's going to be pretty good against the Hank when, obviously, I was going to say went out in the open, but it's literally the map, so quite a lot of it's going to be out in the open. But yeah, this kit seems a little bit weird if they're not going to pair it with anything. You definitely have to start questioning it. You kind of expect them to have to, but considering they banned out the Buster, which is surely Kit's best/second best pairing, it's a bit of an odd one.
There you go. Yeah, it was going to be one of them, and they're going with the Pearl. Certainly not the most agile. That's the only consideration there. But yeah, Pearl has been underestimated, I feel, especially in this map and mode. It was banned out for the majority of times though today in this region, which is good to see. And now that it's escaped the bans, it was picked up. Again, with Pearl, just the ability to cook over time does encourage an aggressive push, and the Max is the worry for me on the Humble comp, and now the Meeple, yeah, as well. Like that's actually a brawl that I'm surprised escaped to this stage of the draft. Didn't see that it wasn't banned out myself, and now that I'm seeing it, it's kind of scaring me a little bit because, again, just one singular gadget, and all of a sudden the entire map is visible really, and leaves little to the imagination. So, very good stuff from Humble, scary stuff. And a risk from SK, but a risk I think is worth taking.
Yeah, I don't mind a risk here and there. I was literally just asking him to play Daryl, so maybe I'm encouraging risks, but yeah, I like it. I like what they're bringing to the table. The B is obviously a bit of a kind of an answer to the Hank, but the rest of it just seems quite odd. A little cardboard box being used there by OP, but was instantly scouted out and did seem a little bit pointless. Didn't really get anywhere with that gadget.
Well, OP already available here to pair things up, but the moment Humble are not aware whether he's in Viz, whether he's moved positions, so they're playing it a little bit safer. Oh, look at that face shift from Luki. I mean, pinpoint precision there onto the wall, but now apparently spot as the connection is there, but it's a trade. 2 versus 2 now. But yeah, what a tank there from Luki to put themselves in a better spot. Joker has got the amplified shot. That's a concern. There's the Mansions of Meeple gadget, the dice going down and eradicating the bush, leaving Joker all alone. There's 2 versus 1, but now Yoshi coming in from the right-hand side to try and alleviate the situation.
Yeah, he did really well to stay alive there in that situation.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like both Luki and Boss, neither of them wanted to overextend to try and get that kill. Joker's so low now, but so's Luki on the other side. Yoshi needs to clean that one up. And Luki continues shooting, gets it, super being placed, but gets the breakout with actually just about winning that one, Boss. I'm sure even he probably didn't expect that, but nice moves from both sides. But it's Humble who take the first round.
I mean, that first round, for me, as closely matched as the poll going in, and for me, again, a 50-50 matchup if ever there were one. Let's hope that the scoreline reflects it towards the end of this series. It's been such an exciting day so far. Both of these two teams have been giving it their all. Look at that again. All that bush now gone, leaving nothing for the imagination. The kit, though, can prey on that with that carbon box coming in right now for OP, and he goes there for Luki. It's probably going to be a trade, though, yet again, but actually, Humble survive on Semantic now falls. Luki low, 604 HP. I don't think that they're going to be close to gapping in time. So, yeah, they're going to leave him in the bush to heal, so going back to fully reset things.
Well, same situation again, the exact same 2v2 in the same trade once more. We'll put them in the same situation, which didn't work out well for them last time. Hypercharge being used now by Boss. That was an extremely heavy kind of phase shift inwards there. Nice shots coming in from Boss. Joker solo will die here. Kind of put himself in a tough position, but Yoshi will be shortly behind and Humble take game number 1. It was quite close at one point, but in the end, pretty Humble-sided.
Yeah, controlled. They've really had the answers. It was like watching a card game go down, and every single time they had the ace up the sleeve. And for SK Gaming, I'm just a little bit concerned, just a touch, because the trade is the same every time on the kit side. I think the OP needs to be a bit more imaginative in order to kind of give his team a bit of an advantage, and that's one way to put it, but not the result that he was looking for at all. He was thinking to go on the great. Oh my word, that's the fastest round we've seen all day, no doubt about it, possibly even for a couple of months. Wow, that was not it, SK.
Yeah, SK having some real problems here. OP has this super again, but every time he's got him for a trade, they've got the trade, but it hasn't worked in the long run. It seems like they need to play with this kit a bit later on in the game to try and make something happen. Joker will go for the slow, but a max speed will not negate it, but make it a little bit less helpful. OP's going to go in, jumps onto the, I was going to say wrong person there if Luki can survive, but Semantic and Boss are the ones still going. And honestly, I think this is better for SK in terms of who's left.
Is it though, with Meeple being so dominant with the single gadget? That gadget isn't enough. I'm just saying it now. Look at that, forcing into one tile there. Joker and Yoshi, and still in the back lines with the gas coming in, inevitably so. And Hank, they're locked in. Where can you go but the jump pad? They're considering it, they're teasing it, they're taunting it. Now Yoshi will go in and try to alleviate some space on his left hand side, but I mean, I don't like SK's chances here. Oh, good connection though. The burn from Boss could be brutal here. Let's see if he does trickle down. 582, good slow there from Joker. There's the follow-up as well. And Semantic can't 1v2 that scenario, so SK Gaming do get around on the board. It's not too late, but they've got a lot going against them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just much better for them to have the Hank left open in the later rounds, considering Joker can pretty much just snipe him down over and over, slow him, and beat him down again. Whereas, we saw the Max giving them some really, really hard times later on into the rounds. Joker has the hypercharge ready to go now, so can throw that one out. Ope just going to use a little super into that portion of the map there. Catches Luki off guard. Actually doesn't. Gets away. Boss going to burn down, though. And Semantic slowed regardless of using hypercharge. Ope will survive. But Semantic's still trying to trooper down and find him, but can't get anywhere near at the moment.
Yeah, SK just need to buy some time, heal back up, and they're in a commanding role. I don't mind that from Yoshi, I've got to be honest. I mean, just to make sure that he's alive and present. So important here in a 3 versus 2. You do not want to hand over your advantage. Now, good burn from Yoshi, but didn't get the most on it at all. Luki, though, still definitely in a perilous position. OP goes straight into the eye of the storm, and that was maybe not it. Semantic, if they can get him, it's okay. 2 versus 2 now. 2 brawlers and SK, full HP. Oh, Luki, are we in a clutch? Are we in a clutch? Oh, not quite. Maybe didn't quite have the phase shift there, but Joker had the amplified shot, full HP and a shield. It was always a tough ask, but we were hoping for it, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just like Joker just watching him there, like moving left to right, like, you are aware you're going to die if you don't come to me, right? Regardless of whether I shoot or not, you will die. He just played the waiting game and kept the honeycoat in the end. But that's a good bounce back from SK Gaming, considering how bad the first round went in that game. They definitely played it a lot better after that.
I still heavily favourite the Humble draft, but SK are finding some cracks in the strategy, it must be said. I'm still not feeling this kit pick from OP. I feel like he's probably struggling the most out of the 3 players, but now going on to the max again, and there might be a trade there is. So now 2 versus 2 yet again. It's the Hank and the Meeple versus Pearl and the B. Joker gets an amplified shot, and the walls go down, forcing Yoshi to have to utilize just behind it as actually a bit of cover. Finds Boss as well, so that seals his positioning at least, but he can't really join the mix to help out Semantic until he heals back up.
Yeah, this thing, Boss needs to be able to get a super whilst he's got the gadget and pinned someone pinned in. Slowed down now, Semantic is going to die. Super used, falls regardless, can't find the shots onto Joker, and Boss will be burning down now. So that's going to be another round to SK, and they're very close to winning this set now, and Humble, who started so strong in first game and the first round of the second, are falling apart now.
Yeah, talk about a reverse sweep of this set. This is getting a bit ridiculous. SK have just already taken to a new level of confidence, and Humble are the ones that seem a bit scatty now. OPE, again, just being calm and collected in his approach, not rushing things at all. The rest of the Hive not going to find anything onto Lukey now. The speed coming in for Semantic, especially forced to jump away from OPE. The block there will get everyone over to the left-hand side and make this a more horizontal affair.
Yeah, well, Kit's going in now. Might be able to find Lukey here again. Dash, I'm sure, available at some point.
Nice.
Gets the kill. Lukey needs to stay alive here, though. Speed being used, and he doesn't either. Neither does Boss. All of them fall, and SK Gaming play it so well and get the first set.
I did not see it going that way. Not by a long shot. Humble came in so composed when you consider the marathon that they've just run against Foot Esports, and again, elated, no doubt, locking in their Brawl Cup tickets. But they started so strong. Where did it go wrong towards the end? SK just came in, hit hard, bit back. Love to see it.
Yeah, Humble really started out this set a bit stronger than SK Gaming, yet SK comes out on top at the end. I don't really know how they managed to do that. I wasn't really a fan of the kit, and they did make it work, even if Ope jumped into the middle of 2 brawlers sometimes. It happens, I guess, even to the best of us, even to pro players like him. Yeah, they made it work. Their comp worked phenomenally, especially also because Joker was tapping. So I guess I not only have to keep Lukey in mind here for those long-range brawlers, but also Joker. Yoshi, though, however, with the most kills on his team. Ope, yeah, he just confirms I'm not a fan of the kit in this map either, Trev.
I'm getting a Juan Carlos moment. Anyone else? Just me, maybe. It seems very familiar, doesn't it?
At least they won. At least they won, though. That's the main thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, you might be 0 with 11 DPS and getting absolutely decimated, but if you can win whilst you're 0 and 58, you know, he's done something right, but it also shows how good his teammates were. Absolutely ridiculous from both Yoshi and Joker. Not saying OP didn't do anything. He jumped on the right people at the right moments. He knew that his entire purpose was to get the trade, and he got the trade the majority of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't say it better, really. I mean, like, he's not going to be feeling like those stats defined him in any way at all. I love that jump in particular, by the way, the winning moment as well, because that was a really good decision to jump on the Hank to cancel out the shot and to not go for what was the more tempting prospect, actually, with the low HP Brawl on the other side of the field. So, it's a good decision making. Still not too convinced from the beginning that it was going to work out, but hey, as Trav says, you know, a win is a win.
That is very true. Boss still with the most takedowns across the board, so also on his side, well played there. It just didn't work out in the end because of the synergy that Yoshi and Joker brought up. And as you said, Ope at least did a good job at distracting the opponents. Now heading into Ring of Fire, another hot zone map that we haven't really seen a lot of times today. Another hot zone map where we'll see some Lu, some Poker maybe. B is going to be an option here again. Some of the same old, like, 10 best brawlers that we have in the current meta. At least it usually makes us casters shine quite a bit if we get the draft right. Let's see if we do, Lark.
Yeah, Ring of Fire for SK, for Humble. Bans soon to come in. Certainly, the long-range affair is where the mid kind of action takes its toll, but certainly brawlers like Ollie, like anything that can kind of get itself pinched in deep into the pockets and prevent you from coming back in off that spawn are going to do pretty well in this scenario. Lumi, I want to see, is an insta ban, and it is, no doubt about it. Going to be staying again at that 0% pick rate and 100% ban rate for good reason as well. Gray and Poco, good bans. Stu as well is pretty much a must ban as a first pickup, really, and the majority of Ring of Fire, of Hot Zone maps, rather, be first pick. Gotta love it for SK Gaming. It's great against tanks, great against mid control, the slow, the hypercharge, really such a fantastic versatile bit of kit. Carl, though, is still open here as well. Maybe not the first pickup here for Humble, but something of a consideration for sure. Meepo as well can get rid of the bush very, very quickly on this particular map, and not many brawlers can do that from range. So I think it's quite a worthy consideration here. And Juju, other things like that, they go a long way here. Lou as well for tanks, but SK have already got the B established, but Humble wouldn't mind it for themselves.
How with the Max then? Still having full faith in that brawler after losing with it in the previous set, and SK Gaming reclaiming the B as well. So I like this from SK. I think the B is just an incredible brawler on this map, and there's so much you can pair it with as well. I love the fact that Humble have banned out the Grey though. Thank God for that, because I've had enough of the teams just TPing straight onto the zone and that being their entire game plan. It works, but it's a bit of a cheesy composition, so I'm quite glad to see that out of the way. But Max, we're going to see the Draco going along with it as well. Really nice pairing there. Be able to get the Draco back into the mid as quick as possible. And obviously the amount of gadgets he's going to be using, I think it was 22 seconds, his recharge on that. So it's lessened, but he should still be able to use more of them throughout the game than he had done prior.
Yeah, with the Poco ban, I mean, the one thing lacking from that Draco is heals, sure. So we'll see whether SK Gaming wants to try to take something off the table in that regard. Just to be able to deflate the Draco, it is still quite dangerous. Berry is definitely drifting away, it feels, recently, in terms of a meta. There is that Lu, of course, for SK. Doubling down, especially with the B, I mean, but not only for tanks, but the Lu, of course, the area denial. That is something lacking for Humble, just a little bit there as well. So, gotta bear those things in mind. Lane aggression, of course, is something that SK certainly need to consider greatly. Hank is their plan coming in now. I mean, they've taken out a great deal of brawlers that would be good into it, so definitely leaving Humble with a bit of a conundrum now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great composition from SK again. The three of the best brawlers in the game, and especially on this map, it's pretty difficult for Humble to be able to get something that's better than any of those here. But the Draco, I do like it. Don't get me wrong, like I think it's going to be pretty decent. But against a Lu, against a B, not really got that much DPS to be able to bring down something like a Hank. Obviously, it does have decent DPS when getting in that dragon form, but Janet isn't something that's got massive amounts of DPS either. Got some range, not as much as the B, so won't be able to contend with that, but drop the base is good, hypercharge is good. I'm still thinking I like SK's comp a bit more, though.
Yeah, me too, honestly, but Janet is not a bad shout. It really isn't. I mean, even just to provide that information flow to your teammates can go a long, long way here as well. But that hypercharge, of course, is where Janet really shines, and it's very dangerous indeed. The amount of control that you get, the amount of damage that you're able to achieve off the back of that as well. And also getting straight off the spawn sometimes into the mid. You know, you never know when you really need to land that final percentile. So some considerations for sure. But this mid fuel is going to be where things are at. The speed of the Max, the slow of the B. Joker versus Lukey matchup, I'll have to see, but Yoshi on the right hand side, finding Semantic already early on, and SK are getting very much at home on that zone.
Yeah, I mean, this is slowly feeling like we're going to have a repeat of the last time they faced in a grand final, to be honest with you, because they're getting quite quickly decimated. Semantic will do a good job of surviving for a while. Yoshi gets the heal off his super, but not too much to keep him alive. And now Boss and Lukey eventually getting on the mid. They're still about 20% down, but is better than what the start they had. Yoshi trying to move up. Joker still sitting back and trying to heal up, and super used, gets the slow, but doesn't get the follow-up connection onto him. Now, Gadget might be used by Semantic, choosing to kind of wait for another opportunity, or maybe he just didn't have it.
Nice there from Boss. Let's see, is the zone now sealed by OPE? Allowing Joker to come forward with a hypercharge, and it does find Lukey. I think maybe the phase shift was a bit late. He was slowed regardless, and Semantic now trying his best to recover from it. And yeah, going to be a tough ask against that B, which you can just see how much value Joker's able to get. But in terms of the objective, it's only that SK is starting to steam ahead by 20%. Let's see now as max speed coming in for Humble does allow for an aggressive push. Yoshi has the hypercharge as well, though, and now the hypercharge of Boss coming straight onto the real problem, which is Joker. Yeah, absolutely so, but the bomb didn't quite finish him off. Now he's going to land and get 2. He does, but Yoshi should be the last man standing on his own now, and SK have already got a substantial lead.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. Boss is still in the spawn, going to be able to pinch back, but the shield used by Yoshi is the gadget. Really nice there, and gets a little bit of extra percentage, but now it's Humble who is starting to close down on this percent that SK have managed to establish. Gadget is there from Semantic, might be caught up to, though, and a super used. Hypercharges galore for SK Gaming, super in there as well. So instant stun coming through the back end, and that's going to be the game going SK's way again. Bit closer than expected off the start, but ended with about 25% still in the lead of SK.
SK are cooking. They are really, really cooking. I mean, this is the best I've seen them look all day. I've got to be honest. Like, every answer is there. I mean, in terms of the scrims, they actually had a lower percentage than Humble. I know you didn't really care about that trap, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah, get me out of here, right? 42% only to SK over Humble in that regard. But I mean, a lot of the times you don't want to face a team that you're going to be facing against potentially at this stage of the competition anyway, or at least kind of dabble a little bit. But I mean, certainly for SK, I mean, we said coming in, the draft was really, really solid. And yeah, I feel like it's carrying quite hard at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with scrims and stuff, like, if they were going to face each other, they knew it was going to be in the finals, and then they'd both got exactly what they needed to happen already happen for the Brawl Cup. So I think that's probably that kind of still going, scrimming each other, playing as hard as they can in scrims. So maybe stats do back it a little bit, but at the moment, SK Gaming still about 20-30% up now, and Hypercharge used by Yoshi gets a little bit of heal. Semantic will get stunned out there, and Boss is in air, will be able to land in the backline safely. But at the same time, it's just more percent second by second for SK.
Oh, Luki went straight into the round hive as well. Like, I mean, that's soaking up so much damage. But Semantic now slowed as well. It's the hypercharge Joker, 1 HP in a dream, trying to juke his way and doing a pretty decent job for the most part, but couldn't find the cover in time. Now the hypercharger Boss comes in, low HP as well to the sky, so he's got to be careful where he lands. But the bombs are dropping hard there onto Yoshi. He finds another as well onto OP. Joker now, the last man of SK Gaming standing, tapping away at Semantic and Luki, and slowed as well. What an amazing balancing of time between SK juggling their task and getting the takedowns. Everything the Humble are throwing is not sticking.
Yeah, it was great for Ope to get that super off in time, especially with the hypercharge. Kind of slowed them, allowed Joker to take one on at the time and still be in contention. It is getting closer, though, as Humble start to creep closer and closer to this SK percentage. Boss on the right-hand side, and Yoshi does turn back and find him. Risky for Boss to step forwards there, thinking that Yoshi wouldn't turn, and a stun should be there on Semantic. Gadget runs out, and Luki goes down. Both so low, though. Boss jumping in. It's Joker going to use the hypercharge, and Boss flies. No time left to stop them. SK Gaming going to take the second set as well, and now only one more for them to be the champions of April.
I love that little cheeky back turn there from Yoshi. He was doing it a lot in that game as well, and you know, it really just goes to show there's a layer of depth between a great Hank player. You know, just the fake outs really were where I felt a lot of time Humble just overstepped themselves.
Humble was looking so dominant against their match, their semi-final match against Foot. Now, SK Gaming seems like a different shoe size. It doesn't look like Humble has a chance against them at all. And once again, it's Joker on the B that denies them the win. Grant warranted that second round was a bit closer, I'd say, for Humble. It looked like they can turn things around, but SK just too strong right now. This could honestly be a 3-0 sweep here, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking more likely as more games go by, and I guess that's kind of how it works. Sorry for stating the obvious, guys, but obviously Humble could be winning them, or getting closer to winning them. Yeah, I just think that SK are looking so good, and it was so well timed there. We just cut that little clip short, but Ope threw the hypercharge out, allowed Joker to take them on 1 by 1 rather than a 2-1, and that just stopped them from getting as much time on the zone as I'm sure they'd have liked for Humble. But yeah, it does seem like SK Gaming are going to kind of relive the past and get another 3-0 on Humble in a grand final of a monthly final. But it's Super Beach that stands in the way, and Humble are going to want this win.
Yeah, little fun fact on the side, we only had 3-0 sweeps so far in this region in every single monthly final. So maybe this is round 3 already. SK Gaming has the chance to close it all out here on Super Beach. Let's see how well prepared they truly are against Humble on this map. We've seen this map before today from Humble, and it looked pretty convincing. So yeah, coming into this, Ark, last voting. Are you still holding on to your prediction that Humble is going to take it? Or will SK now definitely take this one? 3-0.
My heart's definitely saying SK now, based upon what I've seen so far. But I mean, last year in the grand finals, Humble score lines were either 0-3 sweeps, 2-3 losses, and the one that they did win was a 3-2 at the fifth and final set. And I think if memory serves correct, it may have been a reverse sweep. So if they can dig deep, whistle down on SK's ego just a little bit here, because they've had a substantial start. You can see that, the panic is starting to set in. If Humble can ground themselves here, realize that they've got to this stage of the competition for a reason, and for a good reason, then they can bring this back under control. But this is going to be a winning draft, no which way about it. And SK got all the momentum in the world. The bands are in, the Stu, the Carl, and the Jackie for SK, the Lumi, the Hank, and the Poco. And the first draft of Chester for SK Gaming, so a heavy tank counter to kick things off.
Well, Humble back with their 2 picks, and everything kind of rides on this for the first half of the year. Obviously, both of them are going to be representing EMEA in the Brawl Cup, but it's kind of a question of who's going to be able to, get more wins on the board. I think SK Gaming is still going to be in a very good position, regardless of coming second, if Humble did win. But it's looking like they're going to get the second win of the year on the board by only April, which is a huge thing for SK Gaming. Juju over the right-hand side then for Humble. Nice first pick from them. Get some good range down the sides, but you got to be looking at SK and thinking, okay, they're probably going to bring some wall breaking now to not only get rid of the walls on that side, but also the grass along with it to stop that extra range from coming in.
Yeah, I'm looking around here as Ollie is definitely the concern, but that's what SK already were thinking. Okay. Fix coming in for Humble. It worked out sometimes with Papara Supermassive earlier today. If my memory serves correct, it didn't work out for them in Brawl, so it was better served in Hot Zone. Definitely a scary prospect. Again, it is going to come down to how SK have sort of been trialing that out in scrims, and if they've been paying as much attention to it as I think it deserves some respect, no doubt about it. But not my favourite kind of pick in the current meta for the most part at the moment. That, on the other hand, that is a brawler which we've already seen today dominating in Brawl Ball for this map and mode. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful pick for SK. I mean, Humble's draft for me, it's going to struggle. I mean, when the Shade's going in ham onto the Juju, it's really difficult to defend against unless you've got a Gree ready to hand, and even then it can still come out on top. I think the SK have got a banging draft going on here.
Yeah, I'd be scared of this. I'll tell you that right now. Especially with the B as well. Chester,
which
Shade,
has been so good for them already.
and B. Yeah, this is a little bit worrying for Humble, I feel.
Dear.
Don't get me wrong, Humble have championed things a few times and it has worked for them. Juju, very good brawler as well, and it's kind of a question of what Humble go for with this last pick. But yeah, I mean, Shade, I'm sure, is just going to be beelining towards this Juju on one of the sides and just keeping him out of where he wants to be.
Synergy-wise as well, with the Finks, would Ollie really do much? Going with Buster for sure, but again, another short-range brawler, which is, it's a good brawler. It's probably my... I'm starting to grow more towards Buster than actually Ollie. At the moment, just a little bit, maybe. It's a bit early, a bit premature, but I mean, how much really is the Time Warp from Finks going to be adding to Buster? That's kind of like where I wonder whether Humble have kind of deviated from the plan a little bit. But I think at that point in the third set, when B's been such a problem, the whole way through the series, kind of worth banning at that point. Sometimes you got to just accept, we've underestimated a player on our opposition wheeler that we should probably just kind of get out of the way. And to be Yoshi this time on it, so handing it over from Joker to Yoshi. SK's versatility with players and brawlers is really something to be marveled at as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that the Juju probably meant to use a shield there rather than use the invis, but if that wasn't a mistake, it was definitely a big one for him. But Joker going to be getting the ball out the corner and stopping Humble from doing the SK trick back to them. And honestly, I don't think overtime would be working too well for them anyway, so there's no point in just cornering the ball for the entirety of the game. Joker going in aggressive, and Luki this time does get the shield and will survive Joker's onslaught.
Yeah, Joker scares me because him not being on B means that he's going to be very, very aggressive on this Shade. Clearly the Shade player for the SK Gaming squad now. Good push, coming in for Humble though, and they're going to be retreating for the Rattled Hive, but Boss is a very aggressive spot. Nice slow-mo replay there as well to eradicate him swiftly again, coming in with the montage as well, putting OP on the ropes here. Good aggression, should be a goal here for Humble, and one that's very, very much needed. They are behind massively in this series. That's a good start things off for them, but oh, look at that, hypercharged look. Oh, actually still connects despite the time warp. Crazy there from Yoshi.
Yeah, those B-shots just wiggling in the time warp. Not going to find anybody though, and Humble are in a decent position at the moment. Just going to clear the ball up to the right-hand side. Don't want to take too much fire considering Boss is so low. Stun going to be missed by Ope, and then TP back to where he was 3 seconds ago by Semantic. Nice stuff from him. Joki pretty much getting bodied on this right-hand side by the Juju and will go down. This might be a goal-scoring opportunity for Humble again.
Yeah, Luki's doing really well under the circumstances. Definitely not a matchup that favours him, but one that he's really standing his own for. Hypercharge for Boss now, some additional movement speed. The pass from Luki is picked up, and he gets it done as well. A game for Humble, much needed as they are 2 sets down. As Semantic is saying, we got this, let's just take it straight forward, communicate, keep it going. But it's definitely looking a little bit chaotic, coming under some form of control. The Humble, they do need a celebration. There's no denying that. And this is their best chance so far in this series of getting one at the end of this. They can keep this up.
Yeah, Semantic really didn't move too far with his gadget then, I will say, but still used it and still survived. Joker not having a good time at all against Luki here. Just trying to get his super, getting absolutely destroyed for the most part. Ope will throw out a super there as well. Maybe not the one that he would have wanted, if anything. He needs to get some of the bombs and break up some of the map, and then actually SK might be able to do something.
Oh, good timing there from Joker. Caught Luki off guard, and the Grigri's going to go to waste. As now SK coming off the spawn can easily take care of it. You can't really do that without utility. It's such a dominant force to have in the Juju arsenal now that SK can go. The aggressive Joker almost had even a wide open shot on goal there, even going now, continuing forwards onto Luki, and can't really do much. Popping the shield will be a bit of a saving grace, but as swiftly as that, SK clear up the scraps and get a goal of their own.
Yeah, I mean, Chester's going to want some of the bombs and needs them as well to get these walls down for the Buster. There you go, knocks him back instantly, and Joker going in. Grigri going to slow him down and stop him from getting any more positioning. Luckily enough, he can walk through that wall and get back. Ope pops the hypercharge and starts moving forwards, gets the bomb, walls goes down, and there's the goal along with it. SK Gaming match point up next.
I mean, that's how you shut down some momentum, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
As soon as the door is open for Humble and a bit of an opportunity, a game that they've been craving for so long, and SK just go, do you know what, back to business as usual and sit. Just really, really phenomenal stuff from SK, getting ever closer to their second monthly final win of the year. Match point, Humble on the ropes, but still, that game in the pocket, there is hope still there, and Humble could start to dig deep enough. That's a takedown early for Joker going down. Oh, look at the cards crumbling here. Yoshi to fall. OP is the last man standing. Humble have got to secure this goal. No time for mistakes. That was good from Semantic. Very close because Joker was almost getting that final swipe, which would have sealed the demise. And he just found a pixel there to slide it in.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks now. Joker going forwards again. Shield being used. Semantic might go down. Ooh, just narrowly watch 2 of them fall. That Rattled Hive was disgusting. Ope might be able to go in for a walk here, but great damage. And the shot not finding the left side there. And Grigri still alive as well in the back lines. SK Gaming will wait for another opportunity.
It's so tense. Joker going in now. Has got to go through 2 people. Boss there on a wasted super. That slow-mo as well. It's so versatile on the offensive, on the defensive, but it was missed. And the cooldown now will take effect. Joker low. Probably going to fall down here as well. Semantic there with a little gadget back. He's going to try to do what he can to keep his team alive in this scenario. All the hypercharge still connects despite the shielding and the montage of Boss. And now slowed and aggressed by both Joker and OPE as SK Gaming are doing a pretty decent job of defending this, all things considered. Ball pushed out to the left and trying to slowly advance towards the SK Gaming goal. The hypercharge of Boss could provide some speed, but not going to be tapped just yet. And now, good aggression. SK still surviving on here.
Oh, what a wonderful hypercharge there from Ope as well. Look how low it got Boss, and it also killed Luki off. So Boss might have to back off now. Rattled Hive comes in. He's going to get him out of that grass and push him off the wall. Shade trying to make a move. Juju fairly low. Just swings round the back. Boss one shot as well, and that was just incredible from SK. The turnaround was huge.
With 35 seconds on the clock, I mean, if this goes to overtime, you're against a B with a comp that's not really going to stand the heat. I think Joker as well, with his position on the right-hand side, definitely a threat. SK would probably like to get the seal up quick, and here's the push. Oh, the bounty from Joker there. The Rattles Hive support as well. It's a 2 versus 2, but SK Gaming push it back, taking it slow and steady. They want the overtime matchup, it seems, but it's allowed Humble to also find themselves in the mid. Juju coming out now as well at just the right time. Humble pushing forwards. A nice montage there from Boss. They're taking it slow and steady. Oh, the hypercharge of OP's going to miss, actually. Boss low. Joker as well, the left-hand side low himself. Misses the time warp, and Semantic survives it in just the nick of time. Continuing to aggress Yoshi, but has not got the ball to slot it in.
Yeah, it took him a while to get back up. Lukey and Boss there. It felt like an eternity, and Semantic was just holding on. Super being thrown there in the mid, trying to slow down some shots, and what a time to get that as well. Boss moving forward with a hype charge. Slow-mo replay there, but he can't grab the ball yet. Just about slides it through, and Humble will take it.
Oh, what a sigh. What a sigh of relief. I felt that. Oh, the pressure of landing that, and Boss didn't falter. What a gadget, what a timing, straight off the back of what was such a valuable hypercharge from the Buster. There is hope. That's the first knock of the door from Humble.
What a thriller this is. It looked already done and dusted for the side of Humble, but they are coming back. Semantic pulled a lot of the weight in this set, not gonna lie here. 8 kills on his Sphinx, a brawler that Humble picked up more often than any other team. Maybe other ones are still sleeping on that pick. It really seems to work out for that roster. But just how close they made it in this one once again. SK really looks like the stronger team right now. There had to a few things to happen for Humble to still win that set, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, that was so much. Like, I felt like SK were definitely on the defensive for a lot of it, and I do think Humble deserved to win that set. But there was just certain moments where, like, SK were in such commanding positions and managed to just instantly bounce out of spawn. This overtime, you look at the composition, if SK Gaming had just held onto a better position and weren't pinned in front of their goal, they should 100% be winning that overtime. A Chester and a B and a Shade with that movement speed against a Buster and a Juju in overtime. They should decimate them.
I really felt like that was kind of an outdraft from the side of SK Gaming, but in the end, Humble still takes it. We're moving on into set number 4. I didn't think I would say that today, crazy, at least not for the grand finals. This is the first time we're heading into a set 4 in all of EMEA monthly finals so far this year, and it's going to be Jamford once again. Now, I don't think neither of those two teams have actually played that map before. I hope they screamed even the maps that are now coming in the grand finals arc.
Yeah, it's definitely going to open the door to a lot of heavy prospects for sure. Looking at Ollie, Buster. I mean, this great map for Shade as well. Let's be completely honest. Going to be so versatile here as well. You know, it's very difficult to retake this mid, and getting the right comp for it to knuckle down is going to be quite key. Bands coming in. Lumi, I'm going to call it with 100% certainty, is already there.
How daring of you, Arkir. Janet comes to my mind here immediately. It's the most picked up brawler from SK Gaming last month, and I have some good memories about this brawler on Jamford specifically. Let's see if they are going to pick her up, since she's actually slipped through the draft here, or if they have a new idea for Jamford this time around. We have a crawl ban. Heat ejected, just so good on this map. And Janet is going to be the first pick here from the side of SK Gaming. They stay true to themselves, Trev.
Yeah, well, Janet, great shout. Good on this map. Drop the base is good. Hypercharge is good. Be able to scout a good amount of the grass too with one shot. So I like that from SK. Humble now just kind of, you can see on the face cam, just questioning what to go, what to pick into this strong SK start. And obviously, you know, some good brawlers being banned out as well. SK Gaming getting rid of 3 of the better brawlers on this map, and Buster will be coming in then once more for the Humble side, and it worked last time. Why can't it work again?
It's a great starting hand for me, for Humble. They've already warmed up to it as well, and Boss was fantastic. Oh wow, this is getting spicy too. Gray coming in. I was going to say Boss being fantastic in the last set with that very brawler. So definitely some smiles now occurring on the spaces of Humble. And, you know, SK Gaming are a squad that once you sort of break their ego just a little bit, knock them down a peg, it can be the escalation, the spiral down to a fifth and final set, just floating it out there, not trying to jinx it, not trying to get our predictions to prevail, just stating the facts. But certainly they were getting some great momentum that's now been seized, as now they get their chance to bring something into this draft now. Max, it's a comfort pick, very aggressive for the speed, not too bad in mid, but not my favourite mid, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see if it's able to work. I'm also quite scared of this, like, Grey and the tank coming in, because we can have a repeat of what we saw in that hard rock mindset with just a Grey and two tanks rolling in over and over and over again to the mid portion of this map, and honestly, it almost worked, but we'll see if that is the case. SK Gaming still have another pick before then, so I definitely have to account for the tanks a bit more, I feel. And it's a question of what they're going to pick. El Primo coming in. What a wild one.
Yeah, it's a bit wild. It really is. I kind of wouldn't say no to a meeple here, honestly. Just to just eradicate the push, lock the Primo in, and just like chap away at him, buy some time here. But you know, at the moment, the Bus is my favorite pick. I think the Grey going to be there as a you know, get out situation, especially with the Max now coming in too. So I don't mind it. Certainly gives them some options, but I mean, SK are making some bold claims, and I like the claims that they're making here. Needs are going to come in for Humble. You know, it's not what I was kind of expecting, to be honest, but into Primo, it makes a ton of sense. Probably like one of the best counters into him, really, and if they can cycle those bears coming through, that's also going to be able to seek through the bushes and like give some information forwards as well. You know, the Bruce is really going to be quite good as well with either star power, honestly. So, not what I was feeling would be coming forwards in this draft, but one that makes a lot of sense against what SK Gaming is saying in the draft. So, I don't really mind it for that sense, but is it a winning draft for Humble? I'm not overly convinced.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think either side really has, you know, a poor draft by any means. Not going to have the most range, but should be able to deal with the Primo pretty well, and a great start for Humble, regardless of the draft not being, you know, top tier for you are. They've definitely just absolutely crushed SK here.
Hey, it's a win-win. Our predictions are Humble, right? So
exactly.
but certainly, I mean, that's how you take mid. But these mist-walking canes are definitely proving a problem for Lukey, and Joker with the phase shift as well. They're not getting the break that they are looking for, but already bossed them with hypercharge. I mean, what an early stage of the game to get some. I mean, just 6 gems is all it took for him to be able to establish that kind of utility. Yoshi takes the skies, finding a little bit, but not the most, let's be honest. Some body blocking to keep Semantic alive, and already a Bruce Bear as well if he wants to throw one down. What's OP really delivering at this point in time? He's going to be able to get a super now, might get some damage, some burn down as well, but immediately the trader's there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what can happen, though. It's like, in the Heretics match, all it takes is 2 massive turnarounds and you can win the entire set. So we'll see if that's the case. Jump comes in then from OP, but he gets decimated instantly as well. TP comes in once more with the hypercharge, and that's going to be a kill as well. Humble went from a terrible position in set number 3 to a very good one in set number 4.
I mean, one that is also making me question, is this draft enough to even get a look in this set? I mean, Humble just steamrolled that one as quickly as that. Not really any opportunity for SK whatsoever, all in a day's work. And going into what might be and needs to be for Humble, the 5th final set, that's what you want. A complete steamroll when SK Gaming are already reeling off the back of a lost set in Brawl Ball. You're chipping away at that ego. I mean, Humble are back. They are just back in this and very much a winning prospect here. Nice walking cane already. Look at that. I mean, OP just got decimated. I mean, burnt to a crisp immediately. And Humble already take that mid-control. So important to establish on a map like in Gen 4.
Yeah, TP set up early as well then from Lukey. Joker scouted out down the side and killed instantly by Boss as well. Pretty sure he accidentally TP'd back then. I think he'd much prefer being in a bit more of an established position, but dropped the base placed and another gem picked up by Boss as it was dropped by Joker. Yoshi flying over the top now, and a bear going straight towards OP, who does get within range, but only jumps on the Nita again. Oh, I mean, maybe not. Oh, this is the kind of thing that Humble will have hated to see coming. The massive turnaround, and that's 7 gems that were in Humble's hand, now in SK's.
What a play. from OPE there. Now the speed coming for Always as well, but beating Semantic in the process. And Boss on the left-hand side, low himself, hypercharge as well. Now for Semantic at just the right time. Look at the stun, despite the throw over the shoulder. It still connects over the El Primo as well. Yoshi coming in now, all but Boss low. Might find Lukey as well, because it's been the clutch to place from Yoshi, the TP away. And Humble have got the gems, but they are split. Semantic being the lowest as well. And OP goes straight over the shoulder. The Semantic away to safety as well. 10 still stands to Humble, and we're going to go all the way to a fifth and final set. But it is SK Gaming that are going to be far more demoralized when they get there.
I mean, that is huge from Humble. Look how happy Semantic is compared to the look after the second set to where it is now. Humble are on top of the world, all momentum on their side. Two very good sets, and especially that one was all them. Like, SK only got one look in, and that's when they had a big trade, but then it was instantly traded back over to the Humble side. And that is two perfect sets in a row for Humble.
I did not predict that to happen, honestly. After the 2-0 from SK Gaming, I thought they would win it immediately in a 3-0 sweep. But both of them are quite familiar with that current situation they're in. 3-2 is the result of Humble's quarterfinal match against Reply Totem. It is also the result of SK Gaming's match against Papar Supermassive in the semis. So both of them have played in this situation before. Both of them were able to win, so their mental should still be quite high. Now looking at the stats quickly, Trev, Buster on 11 kills. Boss is an absolute menace on that brawler.
I mean, it was disgusting. It really was so good, and he's played that incredibly pretty much all day. Like, the Buster's an incredible brawler, Boss, you know, a phenomenal player. So, I mean, what can we expect when he hops on a brawler like that other than just absolute decimation of the opponents? And huge for Humble to be able to bring this one back now. They've gone from backs against the wall to being in a much better position than SK Gaming heading into this last set.
We are heading into the last set, something I did not expect to happen anymore after the first two sets taken by SK Gaming in a pretty convincing fashion, 2-1, 2-0, and now Humble is on their way back, winning their first set. They win the set number 3 in a 2-1, now the previous one in a 2-0 fashion. They're getting stronger and stronger, and they certainly have the momentum coming into Bridge too far. Now this, once again, is a map arc that neither of the two teams have played. Never mind, Humble has played it once against Reply Totem today. They played Angela, 8-Bit and Lily. Do they show up with a new draft here? What do you think?
They're good picks, for sure, absolutely. Lily cannot be underestimated whatsoever here. Mandy, of course, 8-Bit in the mid, really brutal stuff. Colt, if left untouched, Boss being one of the best Colt players in this region as well. Got to be really heavily considered here as well. Angelo for the mid, being able to just dance around the situation. Juju can be an option, but it really depends upon what is at stake in terms of the other brawlers on the field. But, you know, just got to bring it back around there just to blow my own trumpet. I did say when everything was looking really bleak that Humble have a tendency to be able to turn things around. That's where we're at. But can they do the rest? Bans are in, Lumi, Colt, and Angelo already for SK. Looks good. Piper, Eve, and Lily then for Humble.
I do feel like Angelo has been that pop-off brawler for the side of Humble in this set specifically. Angelo on Lukey. And now we'll see with what they will go instead. I feel like Bell could still be an option here. 8-Bit, another long-range brawler. Their Lily is banned out by themselves, so that's an interesting twist of events here. Juju is going to be picked up first. She's very good because she can walk over water here as well. And on Bridge too far, that's definitely going to come in handy, Trev.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, Juju's a very good brawler. Grigri can be a real big issue for a lot of brawlers on this map because most of them, you know, there's just kind of like one shot, one hit, kind of single projectile brawlers on this map. So Juju's really good for, you know, competing against them at close range and placing that down. So it's a really good start for Humble. Melody coming in then for SK. They want something aggressive. They want something that's going to be able to go straight towards the safe and get damage if they need it. And Melody's a great brawler to be able to do that.
Yeah, I was about to write it in our chat. Like it's really good. It's really worrying. That is not. That's like two polar opposites. I know that it did, you know, Helping Hand tried to tie in, a single gadget pop last month's monthly finals, just to tie things over. But I just don't think that Bo is kind of warranted enough to see as much play rate as we've seen so far from it today and here. Not convinced very much either. I mean, it's it's just okay, you know. You can break some bush, you can break some mid if you really need to. You can throw some mines on the safe, and that respawn then going to trigger things forwards. Lola, I'm actually kind of a much more sided with, actually. The fact that Bell's still open here is a bit of a concern and not banned out. It could go the way of SK, and they picked that up to really counteract the ego. But, you know, certainly, you know, I'm actually kind of more dubious on the first pick Juju, because, you know, it's kind of one thing to pick with the lake and the water, you know, in mind, but before you see everything else, it means the Humble are really valuing that thrower pick. Let's see what they want to round off this comp with, but it might even be Bell just to take it out the hands of SK. Let's see how they fare.
Yeah, I mean, Bell's not... It's good regardless of taking out the hands of SK, right? It's very solid pick. I mean, Amber's what comes in. It's been a while since I've seen Amber here. I'm sure after the Hypercharge came out, it might actually be pretty competent, but I'm not saying it's bad now, but it just hasn't been around for a while. It was very heavily in the meta on this map at one point, and then after that, it really just hasn't been at all. So I wouldn't be surprised, as you say, to see the Bell now. Going to be decent against the Amber at range, going to be good against the Lola bouncing back and forward, and as long as you keep kind of Juju out the grass, you're going to be outranging it quite a lot.
Carl, potential here for SK. Will they go for 8-bit still available? I don't get this draft. I don't get this draft from SK. I still have confidence and faith in their ability to turn this around, but I mean, there was more options in my opinion. Mandy, Chuck, Carl. I mean, take your pick, really. I mean, Bo, Brock. Are they going to really win a monthly final in the 5th and final set with a Brock and a Bo?
They might do. I'm not going to doubt it because I know.
No, I know what you mean. I don't want to doubt it, but it is a Brock and a Bo.
I know they can make weird things work. So they're very capable of doing it. But yeah, I do question it a little bit. So I'm hoping for their sake that it can work. Boss going to instantly go to this right-hand side, and speed, pace already being used by Lukey with this gadget. Didn't get too far, and Semantic being pinched down now.
It's quite smart to break. It puts Juju in a tough spot. She can't utilise nearly as much as the mid, and that is actually quite smart from SK. Got to hand that credit over. Still waiting on this Bow and what it's going to bring from Yoshi, Oslo, and Joker. Yeah, this Melody is where this comp can really have that single brawler carry, but they've still got to carry it. Mine's out for SK, and they'll be tripwired shortly, I'm sure, for some damage. That's what SK's strat will be. But it's going to be a small amount of damage. That's going to do the most. I'd like to kind of see Joker really pop off in this Melody pick, because I think that they're going to need it for SK.
Yeah, Boss already on the safe now as well, and Lukey going to come up and join him. Good kill, but a good trade there from Boss as well in his dying seconds. Joker wants a super, not going to be provided just yet by Lukey, and will go slide behind the Ego and probably the Grigri in a second once healed up as well to really try and prevent him from getting it. Look at all this oil built up by Boss on the right-hand side. Should be able to get free supers all day long if he doesn't burn it up in the process of trying to get up the map, which I imagine he might accidentally do.
Yeah, Humble are keeping a great control now. A chance to push forwards as well. Joker with a shield going to find his space to go through and instantly finds the arms of Semantic down that Lola pick. He can't really miss. Yoshi staying firm as well, finds one. Gets Lukey as well. Nicely defended from him. But it's still Humble that have got a little bit of a lead. Hypercharged mines in the mid have got to be popped. Semantic finds one, and the Hypercharged Ego to the left-hand side as well. OP, though, going to struggle against it big time. He's not really able to provide much in this left-hand side lane, except that early break for the Juju.
Yeah, one of the quite a weak amount of damage here from Humble, considering how much control they've had. All that it takes is this, exactly this, to go and equalize it. It just goes instantly and takes the lead. One push, and Joker will get that. So we need to see more from Humble in these 30 seconds before he gets another super, and therefore some more damage on safe.
Big burn from Boss. But Yoshi stays healthier in HP. Now, Rocket Fuel from OPE, but a missed Rocket Rain as well. He's taking some control, though, away from this left-hand side, finally. As now Joker's just trying to find the super. Boss gets the oil down, but the damage is not enough. It's just enough now to trickle over. But Yoshi on the right-hand side will be going in with the mines. Hypercharge as well. The damage will be substantial here if Yoshi stays alive, which he does as well. It's going to be literally neck and neck all the way down to the wire. And it's going to be then SK Gaming that just gets an edge on the safe by a couple of percentiles. A match point for them, but very, very only just.
I mean, it was a 50-50 match in terms of mid-control, but it seemed like Humble were maybe just a little bit more in control of getting some more damage across the duration of the match. And the only trickle down they had was just an occasional Boss throwing super onto the safe and just putting it on fire instantly. And that's real all the damage they got until the end, which was a bit unfortunate for them. Expected just a little more from them, but Joker pretty much only got to the safe once, so they did a good job of defending that.
I mean, it's kind of running tripwire as well. Like, I mean, imagine how much more damage those hypercharged mines would do on the safe if they were running that. I mean, hey, it's working. I'm not going to knock it. And Yoshi especially is doing a wonderful job on this right-hand side against Boss, who's, like, as you already mentioned, able to cycle super so well. If he gets into the safe as well, good damage will be dealt. But he's really struggling in this matchup on the right-hand side. Joker, again, he is the threat. They can't drop the ball on him. OP now into the mid as well is an interesting maneuverage of this of the lane side, just mirroring the Lola pick. Luki finds that left, gets Joker taken care of, but it's the damage that is lacking. The objective from Humble, they just cannot close the gap onto the safe to give themselves that early lead.
I mean, they're going to have way more kills as far as stats are concerned, but yeah, they're just not getting any damage. 2% after all these kills is ridiculous. Luki using speed now, going to try and catch up to Yoshi and get the kill, but doesn't even get that. A stun in the mid there as Semantic walks across mines and walk across some more as well, considering the hypercharge, and there's 5 of them laying there. A bit more damage, but only 11%. Joker can do that in seconds.
It's the problem. They're getting the kills, they're getting some control, but it's the damage that they're not able to inflict onto the SK Gaming safe. Good slow from Luki there. Actually stops the Rocket Rain. Very good stuff, allowing some space as well to push forwards onto the safe with some damage of their own. Right-hand side, Boss finds Yoshi again. That lane matchup, which he's been able to do pretty well with, but struggling to really secure much. Now, oil onto the safe. That's going to be very much to the favour of Humble. There's so little in this. 4% is not much at all for either side. Hypercharge for OPE. Force back does not find a super off the back of things either. And Boss juking. Wow. Like the wind, pushing the right-hand side. Beautiful stuff from him.
Yeah, he's weaving so well. Luki just sitting in quite a comfortable situation here. Semantic will throw that hypercharge super in the mid. Should be able to kill Joker, but they pick up the right-hand side, which means Yoshi might have a beeline towards safe, but kept back so well by Luki, who can cover both of these lanes. Slowed down as well, thanks to that shot. Joker searching for a super, but a shield used in the mid from the gadget from Luki. Still, a chance for an SK comeback, but they're going to need something soon.
Great juice from Semantic. Joker going in very low HP though. It can't aggress too quickly. Needs the help of his teammates. Boss taken care of now on the right hand side, and Joker goes in with a hypercharge. This is surely going to be it for SK Gaming. They will get the damage that they need, and no time for a response. It's Humble that falter, and SK Gaming with their second win of this season. They absolutely storm it, and they are your monthly final champions for April.
Huge drop of the ball there from Humble towards the end. Everybody dies, and SK does rain damage on the safe. Rocket Rain, the super for the notes from Melody just decimate the safe, and you could just see it happening a mile off there. When we saw a slight overstep from Humble in those closing seconds, SK Gaming managed to get the job done, and as you said, the second monthly final of the year goes their way. The crown for February and now April.
The closest monthly final we had in this region so far. Humble was on a winning streak, and SK stopped them in their tracks. SK rise to the occasion and take the April monthly finals crown, while Humble at least secure their return to the global stage. They're both heading to Dallas. They're both going to the Brawl Cup, joining the elite there. And yeah, what a thriller it's been, guys. Again, after the first 2 sets, I already thought it was over and SK would take it. They did had to play all the way to set 5 and still took it in the end. I'm sure they're super happy about that.
Yeah, I will say it's like I was expecting my predictions to just go like completely out the window. It's Europe. What do I expect? And I was so close to a 7 out of 7 as well. Probably my first ever for Europe at that point. And I just ended up with 6. Nightmare. SK Gaming do win, and honestly, I'm a little bit sad about my prediction, but I think SK did deserve it. First 2 sets, perfection. Last set, perfection as well. Humble, going to be a little bit disappointed after bringing it back to set number 5 and then kind of letting the ball drop at the end.
I'm not gonna lie, I did put SK as the winning team in the event website, but after Humble's performance today, winning a couple of matches, even though they were outdrafted completely, I really felt like they have to take it today, and somehow they didn't. It didn't work out, even though also in Bridge 2 Far I felt like they outdrafted SK Gaming. But let's hear it from the man himself. We have Joker on the line. Welcome, Joker, to the show. You just won the monthly finals, and you secured your spot at the Brawl Cup, Joker. How does it feel to make that kind of statement?
I mean, we feel amazing. Like, obviously, we prepared only quarterfinals, so because we wanted to secure the Brawl Cup. But I mean, winning on top is not so bad.
Yeah, huge boost then to your points overall, getting this first place in February and also April. As Sonny said, Brawl Cup secured as well, so huge month for you. Was there any point, though, during those finals, you know, you started so strong, was there any point of doubt in your mind after those 2 sets came back, or did you feel fully confident heading into the 5th and final?
I mean, yeah, honestly, after the fourth set, I was like thinking, oh, I mean, we should have maybe won Bravo. We did some mistakes. We could have executed it better. That was our chance to win. But we stay strong. Like, I think we've shown over the whole year, that also the foot reverse sweep, for example, that we know how to play fifth sets and we can keep our calm.
Yeah, it took composure of steel there. I could see it in your faces, and Humble were definitely gaining that momentum too. So good for you guys, for sure. I want to take you back to your match against Papara Supermassive. You know the one I'm talking about, Hard Rock Mine. Pure chaos, absolute cinema. Talk us through it. I mean, for anyone that didn't see it, just pure chaos, but there was method behind it, right? I mean, what was going through your minds when you saw the draft unfold?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, after seeing what Papara was drafting, I was so confused. Like, you have the Hank and you have Rosa, and we have a Shelly. So, on theory, we should destroy them. But it was so annoying that they kept TPing into the mid, and we couldn't kill them. Like, even the Shelly supering the Rosa in the face or the Hank, they still kept coming back, and somehow we even lost the game. But yeah, it was really crazy. I think the communication was key because we were communicating when to go in together and when to speed each other. So yeah, I think I will have to rewatch what happened there, but their comp was kind of interesting.
You'll enjoy it.
Maybe for the young Brawl esports players as well, the upcoming ones, how do you keep your mental high? After being 2-0 up, Humble drags it out to set number 5. What do you do in such a moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be pretty easy to just go to the next set, like think about the draft. Because when you're competing, obviously you still think about the last sets, but we're focusing on what's coming next. Like especially the draft is the most important right now. So yeah, we just thought about what do Humble like to play here, especially because they already prepared this map against Totem. So we saw they already played it once, and that's why we decided to ban some things, for example.
Thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations once again you go to Brawl Cup. We'll see you in Dallas. I hope you celebrate well tonight.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you too. And Joker also got the MVP. What we would have loved to show you that when he was still in the interview. But well, deserved, I feel, Arc. Once again, MVP in his team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely phenomenal on the B. A safe pair of hands from start to finish, really, for me, and you need that, especially under pressure. I mean, 3-2 scorelines for them today. They really had to maintain the composure, and as he talked about already there as well, a lot going through their minds in those moments, and some potential regrets that they may have looked back upon and thought, we were just so close, and we lost it at that stage, but able to bring it back around towards the end and think clearly enough to draft their way out their mistakes. I think it was a really amazing thing to see.
Thanks to the two of you to guide us through the day today. Kenny was here as well, and he's here to guide us through the bracket one last time today.
What a day. I mean, honestly, it just felt like playoff Brawl Stars to me. The intensity was there. A lot of preparation coming this month from every team. They took it really seriously, and I think this is the most telling month for all of our regions in general, especially East Asia and EMEA, where Brawl Cup spots were on the line. Humble and Foot on that bottom side was very intense, but Humble got the win there. Therefore, they got that second Brawl spot. Obviously, in our quarterfinal number 1, where we got a 3-0, SK Gaming, that's all they had to do, but they did a little extra credit today. I mean, going all the way, and some nail biters as well. They're going to be quite battle tested for this Brawl Cup.
Yeah, I mean, what a game, what a day it was. It's just absolutely incredible. Great games, great day. SK Gaming sitting all the way up top on 173. Humble just sitting, a bit more behind, I believe, than it was earlier, or actually probably less, I imagine. Now 154 then for Humble sitting there in the second place. Really nice stuff from them. Eclipse are still, regardless of being beaten first round, sitting ahead of Foot Esports. So I'm sure they'll be pretty pleased about their position on 132 there. It doesn't seem bad at all. And then Foot Esports on the 123, all sitting in the world final slots. And then Inner Circle didn't even show up today, and they're still ahead of Papara Supermassive and Team Heretics. They're the ones in the LCQ spots, and then Reply Totem, having a nightmare of the first 3 months, still remain within the top 8.
That's the concern for me. It really is. It is the elephant in the room, isn't it? I mean, what happens with Reply Totem now? I mean, we said last month, I remember Trav signing off the show and saying, something needs to change. They can't continue on like this. I mean, quarterfinals exits are just simply just not good enough. And I really I feel for them massively. It's a really tough scenario because they're all such fantastic players, but something is just not working out. I mean, I think today was honestly the best showing that we've seen them have. I was praying that they would be able to come forwards and sort of go through into those semis. This wasn't to be. And, you know, they've been getting tough brackets. I hope for their sake that next time round it's a slightly more straightforward process.
A lot to unravel from today. Both SK Gaming and Humble are headed to Dallas. Brawl Cup is happening May 23rd to May 25th. Make sure to get your tickets in. Is that what you expected after today? Those two teams moving and going into Dallas, Kenny?
It is what I expected. I mean, my predictions are what they are. Sure, I got the grand finals wrong, of course, but honestly happy to be wrong when we've had so much good competition. This region's just so deep. All the representative this weekends we've gotten Zaya Division, now we've got SK, and we've got Humble. You could tell me any of those three teams win the Brawl Cup, and I would not be surprised. I just think they're so good right now. It's going to be an insane competition.
I'm kind of scared. I got a message in my DMs, we won't forget Sonny. So SK is pretty mad at me, I think, but that's okay. Let's go down the line one last time. Trav, we start with you. Any final thoughts of today's EMEA monthly final?
Yeah, I mean, all I've got to say is a massive congratulations to not only SK, but Humble as well. SK obviously won the entire thing and got the Brawl Cup secured, so it's been a huge day for them. Massive congratulations. But Humble getting the second place, getting the Brawl Cup qualification as well. I'm sure they will represent my home region of EMEA very well. So I'm rooting for them, guys.
For me as well, Papyrus Supermassive. I've got to give them a shout out. I thought they played fantastic well today. I think that we could have seen them in the grand finals, realistically speaking, there, and for SK to be able to take that all the way to the fifth final, credit to them to be able to seal it because great drafting, great analytic work in the background as well from Luck for sure. And I want to see more from Papyrus Supermassive. I think they're going to be in the grand finals still to come.
Awesome action today, and we've still got more to come next weekend. I mean, SA and NA still have work to be done for their Brawl Cup spots as well, so I'm really excited to see how we get these 8 teams in the journey to get there.
What a roller coaster in EMEA once again. SK take the April monthly finals crown. They and Humble are headed to Dallas to Brawl Cup. But we're not done yet. Voting for the fan art contest ends Monday, 3 p.m. UTC, so you still have some time to do just that. And next Saturday, the spotlight shifts over to South America, where one of the 2 remaining golden tickets is still up for grabs. Be there or hear about it from someone who was. Thanks for watching, as always.
To go down, it's about to get live. Never wasting time, 1, 2, check on the mic. Yeah, it's about to go down, it's about to get live. Day and night, could never stay inside. I see the raving lights, stay on the faded vibe.